What if everything you've been through, the pain, the failure, the rejection, was not meant to break you, but to build you? What if the chains holding you back were not placed there by the world, but by your own mind? That's the truth David Goggins wants you to face in his second book, Never Finished, Unshackle Your Mind and Win the War Within. This book is not just another motivational story. It's a wake-up call, a battle cry, a reminder that no matter what you've accomplished, no matter how far you've come, you are never done. You are never finished. And in this video, I'm going to break down the most powerful lessons from Never Finished, explained simply, so you can use them to destroy your excuses, push past your limits, and build the strongest version of yourself. So sit tight, because if you're willing to hear the raw truth, this might be the video that changes your life. The war within never ends. Most people think success is a destination. They tell themselves, once I get fit, I'll be happy. Once I make money, I'll relax. Once I achieve my dream, I can finally rest. But Goggins says that's a lie. The war within never ends. When he became a Navy SEAL, he didn't stop there. When he ran ultra marathons, he didn't stop there. When he broke records, he didn't stop there. Because he knew something most people don't. Success is not permanent. Comfort is not your friend. The moment you stop fighting, you start dying. So here's the truth you need to hear. There is no finish line. Every day you wake up, the battle starts again. And the only way to win is to never quit fighting. Lesson 1. Break the governor in your mind. In his first book, Goggins talked about the 40% rule, that when you think you're done, you're really only at 40% of your capacity. In Never Finished, he goes deeper. He says your brain has a governor, like a speed limiter on a car engine. That governor is fear, doubt, and the voice that says stop when things get uncomfortable. But here's the truth. That governor is lying. It's holding you back from your real potential. When Goggins ran on broken feet, when he trained while exhausted, when he refused to quit during SEAL Hell Week, he wasn't superhuman. He simply refused to listen to the governor in his head. So ask yourself, when life gets hard, whose voice are you listening to? The governor that lies, or the truth that says you have so much more left inside? Lesson 2, don't get comfortable when life is good. Here's the biggest trap most people fall into. Once they achieve something, they relax. Lose some weight, they stop training, get a promotion, they stop learning, make some money, they stop grinding, and then they slide back. Goggins calls this the trap of comfort, and he warns us, comfort is the slow death. That's why, even after his success, he kept pushing himself into discomfort. Cold runs, long races, painful challenges, not because he had to, but because he knew comfort would make him weak again. Remember this, success is not owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every single day. Lesson 3, build an unbreakable mind through suffering. Most people avoid suffering at all costs, but Goggins runs toward it. Why? Because he knows that suffering is the training ground of the mind. Every time you choose discomfort over ease, every time you do what others refuse to do, you're building calluses on your mind. When you run further than you thought you could, when you keep working after everyone else gives up, when you face the pain and keep going anyway, you're creating a mind that cannot be broken. So here's your challenge. Do something every day that makes you uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be extreme. It just has to push you past where you usually stop. Because every rep of suffering builds strength you can't get any other way. Lesson 4. Reject mediocrity. The world is full of distractions designed to keep you average. Streaming, scrolling, fast food, comfort zones. All of it whispers the same message. Just take it easy. But mediocrity is poison. It makes you forget what you're capable of. It steals your potential. It convinces you that average is good enough. Goggins says you must wage war against mediocrity. That means raising your standards. That means refusing to compare yourself to others and instead competing against the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself right now, am I growing or am I coasting? Because coasting is just another word for dying. Lesson 5. The accountability ladder. In Can't Hurt Me, Goggins taught the accountability mirror. In Never Finished, he expands it into the accountability ladder. Think of it like this. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you climb up one rung of the ladder. Every time you break a promise, you slip down. Discipline is what keeps you climbing. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what gets you to the top. So stop waiting for motivation. Write down your goals, break them into steps, and hold yourself accountable every single day. Because the only person who can climb that ladder for you is you. Lesson 6. Turn pain into power. One of the most powerful themes of this book is that pain can either break you or build you. For Goggins, pain became fuel. Growing up abused, broke, overweight, and full of self-doubt, he could have stayed there. But instead, he turned every scar into a reason to push harder. Your life may not look like Goggins, but your pain is just as real. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you let it chain you down? Or will you use it as energy to rise? Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the forge that creates strength. Lesson 7. Your past does not define you. If anyone had a right to use their past as an excuse, it was Goggins. His childhood was brutal. He had learning disabilities. He was obese. He failed over and over. But he refused to let that story define him. And that's the message for you. No matter what you've been through, you are not finished. No matter how broken you feel, you are not finished. Your past is just one chapter. You decide what the next chapter says. Lesson 8. Keep evolving. The final lesson of Never Finished is simple. No matter what you've achieved, you must keep evolving. When Goggins hit goals that most people only dream of, he asked himself, what's next? He knew that stopping meant stagnation, and stagnation meant death. So he chose evolution. That's what it means to be never finished. It means you are always growing, always learning, always becoming. Because the day you stop evolving is the day you stop living. Practical ways to apply Goggins' lessons. Now let's break this into steps you can actually use in your daily life. Face the truth. Write down the excuses and lies you've been telling yourself. Do something uncomfortable every day. Cold shower, extra workout, difficult conversation, anything that builds calluses on your mind. Push past the governor. When you feel like quitting, go further. You are not done. Reject mediocrity. Stop coasting. Raise your standards. Climb the accountability ladder. Keep promises to yourself, no matter how small. Use pain as fuel. Don't run from suffering. Turn it into power. Write your own story. Don't let your past define your future. Stay in the fight. Never declare yourself finished. Keep evolving. Final message: the fire never stops. Here's the truth, raw and unfiltered. Life will not go easy on you. It will test you. It will hurt you. It will try to break you. But suffering doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're alive. And if you choose to face it, to fight it, to use it, suffering becomes your greatest strength. That's why Goggins says, you are never finished. No matter what you've done, there is always more inside you. No matter how far you've come, there is always another level. So ask yourself, are you living soft or are you living hard? Are you settling for average or are you fighting for greatness? Because the war within will never stop. And the only way to win is to never quit fighting. So tonight, stand in front of your mirror. Look yourself in the eye and ask, am I finished or do I still have more inside me? The answer is simple. You are never finished. Unshackle your mind. Break the limits. Win the war within. And when life knocks you down, remember this. They can hurt your body. They can doubt your abilities, but they cannot touch your spirit unless you let them. So don't let them. Stay hard, stay hungry, stay evolving, because you are never finished.